Hello, are you a streamer that uses OBS? Are you incredibly frustrated with how difficult it is to add an individual element into multiple scenes, especially if they have to be in exactly the same position? If the answer is yes, then that probably means you've never heard of nested scenes before. In short, nested scenes provides a system from which you can curate and manage elements that are repeating elements that would appear in your scenes. And by doing it in one place and one place only, and it will automatically update for the other ones. It will also allow you to resize them per scene without changing the original. So it is just an invaluable tool no matter what you stream, and no matter how complex your stream, this will probably be a useful feature for you. So without further ado, let's get into the tutorial itself to show you how nested scenes can be used. The first thing we're going to do is to add a new scene. I've already got one here, so I'm just going to rename it to camera sub scene. Once that's done, we're going to add a camera source. So we'll go to add source and select video capture device, rename it to whatever you like, make sure you have the correct settings, and then press OK. Now we have the camera added. Let's add an overlay to fit the camera feed inside. We'll click on Add Source, then select Image. Once you've done that, rename it if you'd like, and press OK. We'll then select the file we want to use, and then press OK again. I'm going to use this image of a neon orange frame as an example, but please feel free to use any image or web overlay that you'd like. And by the way, if you'd like to learn how to turn this image into a custom-coded stream elements overlay with alerts, then please make sure you're subscribed to the channel and hit the bell icon so you'll be notified when that video comes out. Anyway, back to the tutorial. The goal is to make the overlay as big as possible within the frame, but making sure that any kind of effects or fades on the edges of the overlay aren't cut off though. Once you're happy with the size of the overlay, you can manually adjust the centering by dragging it around, or you can get some help by right-clicking the preview window, pointing at transform, and then selecting center horizontally or vertically. The final thing to do for this image source is to lock it down so we don't accidentally move or resize it by going to this Lock Source button and clicking it once. With the overlay set up, let's make our camera source fit inside it. If the video is the correct aspect ratio, then you just need to make it the same size. However, if it's not, then you need to resize the camera so that in one direction it's a perfect fit, but the other direction must be bigger than the overlay. If this is not the case for you, then you'll have to start from another side instead. At this point, we can use the same centering function in the transpose menu we talked about earlier to make the side that is too wide centered. Just in case you didn't know this shortcut, you can crop a source rather than resize by holding Alt and dragging one of the anchors around. We're going to do that here to make the camera source fit perfectly. When you're happy with it, lock the video capture device source as well. This is the camera subscene complete, and most of the hard work is already done. We just have to have a look and see how we can make use of this in other scenes now. With that in mind, let's add a new scene. We'll call this Just Chatting, and this would be the actual scene we use when we want to just chat on stream, and have the camera as big as possible. Normally, this is where we would have to re-add all the things we just did earlier, but thanks to scene nesting, we just have to click Add Source, click on Scene. This will allow us to select the camera subscene we created earlier, and just like that, everything is already done for us. We just have to lock the source in place, and we're good to go. You've probably already noticed that the Just Chatting scene is an exact copy of the original subscene, so let's see how it works if we want it to be a different size. Let's start by adding a new scene called Gaming Live and repeat the same process of adding the camera subscene. During gameplay, we don't want the camera to be full screen. We only want it to be a small widget. Normally, we would have to resize each of the elements of a scene manually until they are the size we want, and then we have to make sure they're all aligned with each other again. However, with this method, it's as easy as just resizing the entire subscene by just dragging the anchors around. Once we're happy with the size of the subscene, we can drag it around the screen as one unit without worrying about alignment. There's also no chance of inconsistencies or missing elements for things you use across multiple scenes. Of course, don't forget to lock the source to make sure you don't change it by accident. The key takeaway here is that the size and position are on a per scene basis. So if we switch back to the just chatting or the actual camera subscene, you'll see that they are exactly the same size and position we left them at earlier. Let's do some quick tidying by moving the live scenes to the top and moving the subscenes down to the bottom. We can also make it much easier to tell between different types of scenes by adding blank divider scenes and typing a load of dashes before and after the label for visual clarity. Let's add the subscenes divider, and then we'll add the live scene divider as well. Just to be clear here, these divider scenes aren't meant to have anything in them. They are literally just placeholders that tells you what type of scenes are in each particular section. I'm sorry to everyone who inevitably will be triggered by the fact that I used inconsistent amount of dashes each time, but I'm trying to not make you watch me type in dashes for a whole minute here, so it's a worthy sacrifice. Alright, we're now at the final and arguably the most important reason why you'd want to use nested scenes. We can update the look of something we use in multiple scenes by just doing it once in the corresponding subscene. Let's say we no longer wanted an orange border and we want purple instead. We just update the overlay source and boom, we're done. This change automatically updates across everything that calls on this subscene. So if we switch to the gaming live or the just chatting scene, you see that they're purple now as well, but it still retains the size and positions from before we changed the theme. So I hope this video has shown you just how powerful and how much potential there is in nested scenes. If you've not heard of this concept before, or if you've not tried it before today, I would highly encourage you to give it a try because it will help make your workflow in OBS more efficient, more manageable, and also clearer to visualize as well. Now, if this video did help you, then please do leave a like. It would be great for me to see what videos help more people, what type of topic everyone's more interested in. And also, if you want to see more technical tutorials in the future on this channel, then please do click the subscribe button and click the bell so you will be notified when new video comes out. If there are any questions about this video, or if there are any topics you would like me to talk about in the future, please do leave them in the comments or come and ask me those questions over at Twitch, where I stream twice a week. Have a great week. Thanks for watching. Hope this helped, and I will see you around.